Hi, guys. Welcome back in Sports Cards Nonsense with Mike Gioseffi and the big producer, J-Bo. What up, Jay? How you doing, man?
What's up, my friend?
Dude, graphics early in the show. You're on YouTube. I apologize for that face you just saw. That is scary. I like it.
I'm going to
You
go
already
now.
have more energy than we had the other day, so I appreciate that. All right, guys, coming up today on the show, quick rapid-fire buy-sell to start it off, and then we're going a little bit different. We're going to do our first mailbag, finally getting some good response, some people reaching out, mostly people bashing our views, which was cute. But, no, we actually had some good questions come in, especially in the Facebook group. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, download, whatever you're supposed to do with that nonsense. Sports Cards Nonsense, anywhere it can be found, the YouTube show, podcast. Check it all out. Join the Facebook group. Do whatever you want. So, J-Bo.
All right. Let's do this thing.
Let's go.
All right. Quick buy and sell.
It's a wide receiver edition only, I believe, if I saw the show notes correctly.
I'm kind of surprised because I believe you said buy quarterbacks. That was the last time I really paid attention.
Okay. Read the names. Sweet cheeks.
Antonio Brown.
Oh, sell on Antonio Brown, despite that other donkey on YouTube talking about him, how he's a great buy. Antonio Brown is not washed up, but that Tampa Bay team looked rough. Brady always slows down second half. I am not buying Antonio Brown stuff at all. Hate it.
All right, Mike Evans.
Same thing, dude. He's again, I don't love him as a wide receiver. I think he's a good player. Playing with Brady, who's going to slow down second half. I'm not buying him either. For a wide receiver, you got to really stand out to me. Mike Evans isn't doing it. That offense is too spread out. Sell on Evans.
DK Metcalf.
Sheesh. I know that name means nothing to you. Let me just say this. DK Metcalf is an absolute monster, playing as good as any wide receiver in the world right now. Dude is on fire. Seattle is putting up monster numbers offensively, and I am an absolute 1,000% sell. Dude, his Prism PSA 10 rookies are coming up toward quarterbacks now. If you think a wide receiver is going to sustain that type of value, you're out of your mind. DK is awesome. He's a great player. His value is sky high. Sell now.
Okay, not Donkey Kong Metcalf. Got it. All right, Michael Thomas.
I like Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas, to me, is a great buy right now. Coming back from the injury, so his prices already fell off a little bit. Old man Breeze is going to be very good in the regular season. He always waits till the postseason to crap his pants. So I am a buy on Michael Thomas right now because I think he's a stud.
Jerry Judy.
Jerry Judy, to me, is the one wide receiver, the one rookie wide receiver that I am a buy on. Drew Lock is finding himself on the field every week, it seems like. If that dude could play the fourth quarter, similar to if he could play the first three quarters like he plays the fourth, that Broncos offense is going to put up points. Jerry Judy looks great. I think he's a good buy. He's still not crazy expensive. I think he's a good buy.
All right. There you go, folks.
So 3 sells and 2 buys. We're all positive in this show now. I love it. All right, let's get to the mailbag, man. What do we have for questions this week?
All right. Let's see here. First question, LaMelo Ball outlook. What are you thinking?
LaMelo Ball. So I like LaMelo Ball, despite his last name and his father being a clown like we talked about. Outlook-wise, though, I'm going to go straight hobby value. I think the kid can play. I think he's going to be a decent player. As far as buying LaMelo Ball, I think he's way too high as it is right now. You know, he's going to probably go 1, 2, or 3. I can't imagine the Warriors are taking him at 2. So if he goes to Minnesota or Charlotte, I mean, are you in love with either one of those places? I mean, I'm out on LaMelo Ball. I think he might be a decent player, but as far as buying him to make money in the hobby, I think you're wasting your money on that one.
Okay. Will Toples come back to football anytime soon?
Oh, sadly, no. So Topps has been out of the game for a couple years now. It's exclusive with Panini. There's a couple things. First of all, Topps, despite the fact that they are a huge company, is not crazy profitable still. The people I talked to in the industry on the wax side of thing, distribution, Topps just doesn't have the kind of money to get back in there. And Panini is a monster. Panini's just going to keep that and stay exclusive with the NFL until you learn the name of every team in the league. So no time soon will they be giving that up.
Not happening tomorrow. All right. Business tax, new business tax election. What kind of effects are we going to see?
Yeah. So this has come up a lot. Obviously, with the election, a lot of things are up in the air, right? It's actually your expertise here, isn't it? What's the market doing for us in the next few months as this election kind of wraps up? We'll come back on screen. Hang on, he's coming back on screen.
I am so glad you asked.
Brace yourself.
I honestly see. I mean, I've seen an upturn. I think we all seen an upturn in the stock market over the last few days since election has been finished. Someone has actually been declared. However, what are we going to see in the next few months? That's only time will tell. I do think that Historically speaking, the market always goes up. We're going to continue to see an increase so long as this whole pandemic thing starts to fizzle out. If that vaccine is real, who knows?
Interesting. So I will say this with regard to the market overall. I know people are worried. Have things already topped out? We're seeing high prices. Things are crazy. Yeah, you got to remember, this is such a small niche market still. I mean, even go ahead, throw your beautiful face back up on the screen because we talked about this morning. You still know almost nothing about sports cards, and even that probably overestimating your knowledge. It's still a new space for you, though, right?
Oh, well, that's the thing. I mean, I know nothing, but the weird thing is I didn't expect to know anything because I'm not a big sports guy to begin with. However, I love sports. I talk to guys who do love sports, and they know nothing about this. Right. They know nothing about the hobby.
Yeah, I think you're finally starting to see sports fans become sports cards fans. So this whole talk of and guys criticize it, new money. Now we have influencers talking about different things. That is all true. I feel like people, though, the guys who have been in this hobby and business for a long time are still blind to the fact that new money is going to eclipse this. And you get guys like Gary Vee, he said it again in a thing yesterday, or 2 days ago now, that the sports card market is going to smash the sneaker market. I don't think people realize how much money is being spent in the sneaker world. This is going to smash it over the next 5 years. That's Gary Vee, who has a heck of a lot more knowledge than the two of us idiots together. You've got guys coming in all over the place. Everywhere you look, there are new celebrities jumping in, whether it's a player collecting himself, he's PCing his own cards. You got guys in media jumping into things. So, I mean, business tax, here's the other thing with tax. Can we stop whining about tax already? I don't like tax either. I get destroyed with capital gains. I sold the company this year, the braking side of things. I'm going to get absolutely murdered because you made money. You're only paying tax if you make money. I don't understand this whole – so, you know what? Does it stink you got to pay a couple more percentage points? Probably. But at the same time, this is not slowing down. The election, the unrest there, I mean, I don't know if it's going to get any crazier than it's been the last 4 years. So, to me, I just feel like the market itself is going to keep blowing up. That's a long-winded mailbag. These are supposed to be rapid fire.
Rapid fire on the next one, but I agree with you. Go. All right. How does 2020-2021 compare to last year's basketball class?
Oh, yeah. So here's the deal. Wiseman, Anthony Edwards, LaMelo Ball, 3 good players. There'll probably be some sleepers later in the round, too, that I don't know about yet because I don't do a ton of pre-draft research. It's not going to compare. You got guys like Zion and Morant from last year who are absolute world beaters, just monsters in the field, monsters on the court. I mean, the supporting cast last year was stupid good, too. So on court, no chance it's going to even be close to last year's draft class. Hobby-wise, value-wise, I think it's going to be okay just because the market itself is so much higher than it was last year. A year ago this time, the market was good, but it wasn't insane until Zion came on the scene and became the next phenom. So on the floor, I don't think they're anywhere close. Value-wise, I think just the brand of basketball itself, basketball cards are just selling for more money now. Basketball wax is selling for more money. You got products like 2021 Prism Draft Collegiate Basketball, which is, do me a favor, if anybody tells you that product is anything other than a cute, fun, garbage rip, they're morons. They're just lying to you. Okay, a little graphic, good for you. Throw in the sound. I mean, but those are also trading at over $3,500 on the open market right now. So that tells you right there, despite this class having way less hype and being way less interesting than last year, guys are all about it. The wax is still going to sell for a ton of money.
There we go. Biggest breakout from last year's basketball run. Or no, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Not named Ja or Zion. Who's going to be
yeah.
This was that poll we put up in the Facebook group. Again, make sure you check that out. Sports Cards Nonsense. This is plug number 2, by the way. I'm getting way better at this. Subscribe on YouTube. Download the podcast. And anywhere else you see the name Sports Cards Nonsense, just throw your time and money at it. Is that correct?
That's all we needed. Perfect.
So the best guy for me from last year, not named Ja or Zion, we actually put the poll up in the group, ended with a dead tie 50-50. So we had Ja Morant. I say dead tie. We had one guy from last year and one guy from the year before because they were talking about who's the third guy. So MPJ obviously was a year before. He got a ton of votes as the next young guy and or rookie. And then Kobe White. I like Kobe White because the kid's got flash on the court. I think Chicago's going to have a decent team this year, and he's going to play. Starting time is huge. Tyler Hero obviously had a huge season last year, especially at the end in the playoffs. I like Tyler Hero as a player. I struggle with Tyler Hero value-wise. Dude's coming off a finals run where he played awesome leading up to it in the Eastern Conference Finals. His prices are already high. I just don't know how much more there is there with him. So I like Tyler Hero. I don't love him. So if you're one standout guy for me who is a buy right now, I'm going Kobe White.
All right. And I want to know what this means. So explain to me, like you would a child, what this next question is.
You are my child.
Is this the junk wax era?
Okay, so junk wax, right? So junk wax, like back in the late '80s, early '90s, it became there was a little bit of popularity around sports cards. So Topps, Upper Deck, Flair, everybody was just producing so many, literally not even a dime a dozen, a dollar a dozen. It was just stupid. It was just way too much, or a penny a dozen, I should say. Let's go the other way. They just mass produced everything, and it was junk. Just a bunch of average cards, and there were way too many of them. So there was no exclusivity, no value, no market, no nothing. People are worried about that now. First of all, the number of cards being produced now compared to then, it's totally different. Back then you had 2 to 3 brands and they made one product. Now you've got Panini putting out 40 different SKUs a year per sport. You got Topps making a ton of different baseball products. It's just a totally different world. Again, this is kind of one of those small market like card show guys like, oh, they're doing it again. They're flooding the market. Well, what you don't realize is the market now is eBay. The market is international. You got buyers everywhere, and buyers are now getting into the card market because their financial guy, who they listen to, Gary V, whatever, is telling them to buy cards. So they're making a lot of cards. They're making things different. Things are unique. There's exclusivity, and there's a ton of money. It's not the junk wax era. Not even close.
I'm going to jump back on here. You
My
may or may
screen
not believe
now.
this.
Here we go.
I actually read an article about this earlier today. The president of Panini says they learned from what happened in the 80s and 90s. The other sports cards makers, they learned because they don't want to see a boom and a bust like they did last time. So they have purposely not overproduced like they did before because their idea is that this isn't just a boom and then it fizzles out. This is something that is ongoing.
Yeah, and again, this kind of leads back to the discussion we've had in the past, too, about sports cards becoming an investment and a commodity. As opposed to guys just saying, hey, I got $50 this week, I want to blow it on something. Now it's, hey, I don't want to waste money on artwork or a 401k or an IRA or any of these other worthless letters and numbers that I don't know about. It's, hey, I like Tom Brady. I'm going to get his rookie card and display it in my house. It's worth $20,000. I think it's going to go up in value in the next 20 years, and I like it. As opposed to this Vincent van Gogh or this Monet painting that I don't know anything about, I'm going to spend the same $20,000 on. I think you're seeing people just come here with real money and view this as a long-term investment. And for that reason alone, that's going to help the market because wax is the same thing. Guys hold wax and leave it sealed like I do. I've got that National Treasure stuff in my closet or in my attic now because I think it's a commodity. In a couple of years, it's going to be worth, X amount of dollars more. So I just feel like the junk wax thing is, again, just that small-minded, I'm wearing sweatpants and a jersey in public, and I live in my parents' basement, and I go to my card show twice a month. Like, that train's gone, man. There's real money in this industry now.
All right. That was great. Perfect. I gotta say, you're answering these with the grace and aplomb of someone who's done this for years. Very good.
A plum? Look, I'm telling you, you are becoming more valuable on this show than I ever thought you would be.
All right, here's a question that I don't even know how you're going to respond. What's the future for soccer cards?
Oh, God. Yeah, so let me say this. Soccer is insane. The amount of money being spent on soccer right now and the value there is nuts. The buying and selling market in soccer is truly international. It is like basketball, maybe even stronger. Maybe not stronger yet, but it's trending that way. Literally, guys are taking base cards, grading them. There's a bunch of guys who I have no clue who they are, whose gem base cards sell for hundreds of dollars. And it's not a small market. I mean, people are talking now like, how does this stuff sell like this? When's it slow down? I think we're just seeing the very beginning with soccer. To put in perspective, I can't get soccer from any of my distributors on wax. That's how difficult it is to get. And we have big accounts everywhere. Soccer is insane to get. It's not being overproduced like anything. It's being way less produced than any of the other major sports. And I feel like the buying market for soccer is nuts. Maybe not necessarily in the U.S. yet. I mean, it's big here with a select crowd, like with guys who are into soccer here. They're into it. They're all in. They love it. They go. But the international spend on soccer and soccer hobby now is just nuts. So I actually think we're just seeing the beginning of that. I think we're going to see soccer start pumping out more SKUs, more products, see bigger print runs, and see it really become more of a thing. Now, as that happens, so it's a hit and miss, right? As they start to produce more and bring more popularity, obviously it becomes less of a thing. It becomes less rare, less scarce. So maybe individual cards come down, but soccer in general, you're going to see people continue to spend like maniacs. Soccer is a crazy, crazy trend right now, and it's not slowing down.
There we go, folks. That's a mailbag.
Boom, that's the episode. Guys, like I said, like, follow, subscribe. Sports Cards Nonsense. You can see our beautiful faces. Oh, I'm glad you can. Look at that timing. Came back right as we say it. And you said a plum today. I'm pumped. Good for you.
I'm a big deal.
Oh, yeah. Sports Cards Nonsense. Again, you can find the show and watch the show on YouTube under that title. If you want to download the podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Apple Podcast, anywhere else you can think of, do it there. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Again, just Sports Cards Nonsense. Hit us up. If you have questions, you want to contribute to the show, you want to bash us a little bit, we're up for anything. Check it out. We'll have more next week. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Later.